In this video, we're going to go over the top 10 vehicle preps to pick up at AutoZone. AutoZone is the largest aftermarket automotive parts and accessory stores in the United States. During normal times, you could always take your vehicle over to your local shop to get an oil change and other repairs performed. However, during an extended emergency situation, you may have to service and do some repairs to your vehicle yourself. So let's start going through the top 10 vehicle preps that you could pick up at AutoZone. Let's get started. If you're new to this channel, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Cliff, also known as the Urban Prepper, and on this channel, I focus on practical, family-friendly emergency preparedness topics. Whenever I go to my local AutoZone, I'm picking up more of consumables for the vehicle. So things like oil and coolant and transmission fluid. I don't typically pick out things that are wear-out parts. For example, things like brake pads and spark plugs and radiator hoses, and getting a full set of tires on rims. For me, I pick those things up at other specialty vehicle stores. But if we are ever in a grid down situation, I think it's a good idea to have some of those consumables for your vehicle ready to go. There might be a delay in international shipment of some of these supplies. Now, the vehicles that we have are gasoline-powered vehicles. We don't have an electric vehicle like a Tesla, for example. I think that gasoline-powered vehicles are good for people with a prepared mindset because you could actually do some repairs on your vehicle, especially if you're a mechanic. The electronic vehicles are pretty awesome, but during a grid down situation, if that electric vehicle were to break down, I would have no idea where to even start. And as we've seen in movies like Mad Max, in a grid down situation, it's good to have vehicles that you could repair using hand tools. So let's start going through the top 10 list of consumables that you could pick up at AutoZone. The number one AutoZone prep, in my opinion, for gasoline-powered vehicles is oil. Oil is the lifeblood of your vehicle. Without it, your engine would quickly overheat and seize up. We try to do regular oil changes, but if there was ever a grid down situation where oil just wasn't available, it would be good to have enough oil on hand to be able to continue those oil changes. It helps keep your car engine clean, makes your car run better, gives you better gas mileage, and a longer engine lifespan. Even during a grid down situation, I would probably still do oil changes. They help prevent engine sludge buildup and overheating, both of which increase the likelihood that you'll need a new engine at some point. And if we are going through supply chain shortages, I wouldn't want to have to do that. Again, at number one, we have oil. To go along with that, at number two, I have an oil filter. The oil filter helps remove contaminants from your car engine's oil that could accumulate over time. So it basically keeps the oil clean. Clean motor oil is important because if the oil were left unfiltered for a period of time, it could start becoming saturated with tiny hard particles that could wear surfaces in your engine. At the time of the making of this video, oil filters are fairly inexpensive. So why not pick up a few of them now while they're still available for your vehicle consumables kit? Again, at number two, we have an oil filter. The number three AutoZone prep is an air filter. A clean air filter improves the quality and quantity of clean air entering the engine, which improves the engine performance and efficiency. Dirty air filters will not allow the same amount of air to enter the engine as a clean one would. If you were in an emergency situation such as a volcanic eruption, you might have to replace your air filter a little bit more regularly. I know some people that pick up metal versions of the air filter, but I just go with the ones that you pick up at AutoZone and replace those as needed. Again, at the time of the making of this video, they're really not that expensive, and they're easy to install yourself. So why not pick up a couple for your vehicle consumables kit? Again, at number three, we have an air filter. The number four prep to pick up at AutoZone is Antifreeze. Antifreeze is an ethanol glycol-based solution used to help regulate the temperature of your car's engine. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. It helps prevent your vehicle's engine from freezing during the winter, and it's also vital in helping prevent overheating. But they call it antifreeze for a reason, and that is to help keep the temperature of your vehicle's engine from dropping to a level that makes it difficult for the engine to do its job. So having a few jugs of antifreeze would be a good idea to have for your vehicle's emergency preparedness stash. It's fairly easy to insert in your vehicle, and if you're going through an emergency situation like a blizzard, you don't want to have your vehicle's engine drop to a level that makes it difficult for the engine to do its job. The number five prep that I pick up at AutoZone is brake fluid. Brake fluid is used in hydraulic brake systems of modern vehicles. It's designed to amplify your foot's force on the brake pedal and turn it into pressure on your car's brakes. Without brake fluid, it would take a lot more than just your foot to stop your car. This is another one of those vehicle consumables item that's fairly basic, but you're definitely going to want to have it even during an extended emergency situation. Again, at number five, we have brake fluid. The number six prep to pick up at AutoZone is transmission fluid. Transmission fluid lubricates and cools the transmission, whether you have a manual transmission or an automatic. Most people have an automatic transmission nowadays, and transmission fluid also helps provide hydraulic pressure, which helps the transmission change gears. During a grid down situation, you're not going to want to run out of this. So far, all of the items listed in this consumables list of preps are fairly inexpensive, and while you might not need it all the time, it's going to provide you peace of mind knowing that you have it on hand just in case. And that's what prepping's all about. Again, at number six, we have transmission fluid. The number 7 prep that I pick up at AutoZone is a car battery. Car batteries can last for many years, but they always seem to die at the most inconvenient times. A lot of preppers have those portable jumper kits, just in case they left their light on, for example, which drained the battery over an extended period of time. I haven't had a lot of luck with those over the years, so I think it's a good idea just to have an extra battery for each one of your vehicles. A car battery is basically a rechargeable battery that is used to start the motor vehicle. Its main purpose is to provide an electric current to the electric-powered starting motor, which in turn starts the chemically powered internal combustion engine that actually propels the vehicle. AutoZone has a decent set of car batteries. I know some people that prefer picking up their car batteries at Costco, but I think that AutoZone has a good selection of batteries at a good price. Compared to the other consumables that we've mentioned thus far, a car battery is expensive, at usually over $100. But if we were in a grid down situation, and if the supply chain was stalled and batteries were no longer available, it would be a good idea to have a spare battery on hand for each one of your vehicles, just in case. Again, the number 7 prep at AutoZone is a car battery. At number 8, I have windshield wipers. Windshield wipers help you wipe away rain, dust, debris, insects, and all other objects that could obstruct your view when driving. It's a good idea to have a clear view of the road ahead of you while driving, and windshield wipers tend to wear down over time. So just pick up an extra set of windshield wipers for your vehicle and have them stored with your vehicle consumable preps. They're fairly easy to install, and you're definitely going to use them at one point or another. And if you were in a bug out situation with your vehicle, you're going to want to be able to see where you're going. So again, at number 8, we have windshield wipers. The number 9 AutoZone prep are automotive fuses. So a car fuse is a component that is designed to protect the electrical systems in vehicles. If a fuse detects a dangerous level of current, the fuse disconnects the circuit, which then offers protection against overcurrent and short circuiting. These things are fairly inexpensive, and oftentimes you already have some stored in your vehicle. But it's one of those little things that if you really needed a certain fuse and you weren't able to go to any kind of automotive store during an emergency situation, you might be kicking yourself for not having some of these basic automotive fuses on hand. So just go over to your local AutoZone and pick up a set of automotive fuses. They're small, lightweight, are shelf stable, and are key for protecting the electrical systems in your vehicle. And the number 10 prep to pick up at your local AutoZone are vehicle lights. I recently did a dedicated video on having a vehicle lights kit in your vehicle just in case you're driving around and you don't want to get pulled over for having a burnt out tail light. What I recommend doing is just going over to your local AutoZone and picking up every kind of light that your vehicle uses, whether it be a headlight, tail light, blinker light, license plate light, you name it. I'll provide a link to the video that I did on this topic in the description box. I don't think it's a bad idea to have a few replacement headlights, which are the more expensive lights that your vehicle is probably going to have, but also the most needed lights. A lot of the rear brake lights, for example, are more universal and affordable. But again, the number 10 prep that you could pick up at AutoZone are vehicle lights. And that wraps up the top 10 preps that you could pick up at your local AutoZone. I had a few honorable mentions of other consumables that I also pick up, but they didn't quite make the top 10. For example, at number 11, I have Fix-A-Flat, and I have a can of this in each one of our vehicles, just in case we need to fix a flat tire quickly and get back on the go. Some other honorable mentions include Rain-X, orange soap, heat, which is a very popular prepper item because it could also be used for fuel for your penny can stoves, Seafoam motor treatment, windshield wiper fluid, and radiator stop leak. Most of the items that you could pick up there are fairly inexpensive, especially nowadays when all of these things are readily available. However, I do have concerns that at some point, some of these items might not be available for an extended period of time. Maybe the cargo ships just aren't making it over to the country to deliver some of these products, or there are product shortages, or halts in the delivery system. Whatever it is, I do think it's a good idea to have some of these AutoZone style consumables for your vehicle to help keep your vehicle operating at a normal level even during an emergency situation when you might not be able to go to your local mechanic for an extended period of time. Most of the items that I've listed in this particular video are things that anyone could do to their vehicle. That's going to do it for this video featuring the top 10 AutoZone preps. I hope that you enjoyed watching it. What preps do you recommend picking up at your local AutoZone? There's other vehicle supply stores that are probably in your local area, like O'Reilly's, for example. But AutoZone just happens to be the largest one and the one closest to me. Leave a comment in the comment section regarding what consumables you think are the most important to have included with your preps for emergency purposes. Also, I'd be interested in hearing what some of your wear-out parts that you would recommend having for your vehicle. For example, I think it'd be a great idea for everyone to have spare tires on the rims, ready to go for an emergency situation. And if you're able to do so, some other repair type items like brake pads, spark plugs, and other items for those that are able to actually do repair jobs to their vehicles. If you have an electric vehicle like a Tesla, you probably don't need half of the ones that I've listed in this video. However, if the grid were ever to go down and your vehicle were to go down, trying to repair your vehicle might be a little tricky. unless you had an electronics background. That said, I'd still like to have a Tesla truck. But again, thanks for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed watching it. Leave your comments below in the comments section. And if you like these type of videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. Stay tuned for more emergency preparedness videos, and I'll see you next time. Take care.